Hi there, Happy New Year 2021. I hope the new year brings you more love, happiness, and blessings. I wish for you that achieve all of your dreams. If you remember, a short introduction to HMIs, and also two related software were explained. In this video, a more complex project will be tested, and then, some related points will be told. Before we get started with today's video, I just wanted to inform you about all the great content I have been releasing on the PLC Goods YouTube channel, which includes industrial automation PLC programming, HMI and microcontroller-based developments. My name is Syed Reza, and if you enjoy this video, I would appreciate it if you could click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell, to receive the latest and the greatest content I will be posting through the channel. Alright, here are two systems inside Factory I/O software. The first one picks up boxes from the belt conveyor, and place them on pallets. Then the roller conveyor get them to the stacker crane, to put them into racks. The second system, the water tank, works independently. I've written a PLC program to control these systems. So, let me change my controller mode to run mode, to test its program. Also, I've designed two screens on my HMI, to monitor and control these systems. Note that, I have explained how my HMI can connect to my controller in the previous video. As you can see, this arm picks up boxes, and places them on pallets. Note that, here are two sensors which are used to detect boxes and pullets. Also, here is another sensor. When a prepared box reaches the end of the roller, the stacker crane will start its works. Note that, the stacker crane system, and also its program have been explained during lessons numbers 28 and 30. If you remember, in the 30th lesson, we wrote an SFC program in 9 steps, which placed boxes into empty positions automatically. I've used that with a little modification in this video. As you see, I've designed an HMI screen to display the stacker crane step. Also, on the right side, empty or filled positions are displaying. Now, the second position inside racks is empty. So, the next box will be transferred there. As you see, when there is a prepared box for the stacker crane system, this arm stops its work, and the roller doesn't send another prepared box. Naturally, a simple operator can't use the PLC program, but an HMI screen like mine can be designed to display important information. As you see, a simple human operator can detect the stacker crane step easily, and also detects empty or filled positions on this HMI screen. As you know, HMI screens use data on the PLC memory to detect the system state, and display important information. Note that, suitable texts can be used on HMI screens, to represent necessary information, messages, or alerts. Well, if you remember, the explained program during lesson number 30, can find the empty position automatically. The founded empty position by the controller, is displayed here, and also, on the HMI screen. Also, if you remember, we use these two push buttons to pause or resume the crane process. Let me press this push button. As you see, the crane is stopped at the 8th step. In consequence, this arm and roller are stopped too. Because there is a prepared box, which must be picked up by the crane. Let me resume the crane process by pressing the green push button. Also, I can pause and resume the crane process using these two buttons on the design screen. Now, the crane process is paused at the first step. Let me resume the crane process again. As you know, I can use my real hardware to control the designed process inside Factory I/O. I used the first and second digital input address inside the PLC program to pause and resume the crane process. Now, the crane process is stopped at the 4th step. Let me resume that. So, a process can be paused or resumed using real digital inputs, virtual push buttons inside Factory I/O, or inserted buttons on the HMI screen. Alright, now let's see the water tank system. On the HMI, let me back to the main screen, and select the tank level control screen. As you see, here I can use a slider to determine the desired water level. After that, the PLC program compared the desired level with the current level, and decide to open the filling or discharging valve. Note that, this system was explained during lessons numbers 22 and 26. Now, the desired level is greater than the current level. So the filling valve has been opened. As you see, the first system continue filling empty racks. So, my PLC is controlling two systems simultaneously. Also, the HMI has two screens, related to each system. An operator can navigate between screens to monitor and control systems. Well, let's wait the water level reaches the desired level. Alright, the water level has reached the desired level. Let me decrease the desired level. As you see, the draining valve has been opened. Alright, let me back, and select the warehouse racks monitoring screen. As you see, a box is moving to the 7th position on racks. Alright, let me pause the process, by touching the related button on the HMI screen, and tell some points about the PLC program. Inside RSLogix5000 software, under the main task, I've divided my program into 3 parts. The first program folder, racks, related to filling racks. Inside its main routine, an SFC program is called. If you remember, the green push button inside Factory I/O, a button on the HMI screen, and the first real digital input are used to execute the SFC program, related to filling racks. Similarly, the third rung pause the SFC program. If you remember, this SFC program consists of 9 steps, which were explained during lesson number 30. Now, it's paused. Let me resume this SFC program by touching the related button on the HMI screen. The next program folder, pick_place, is relayed to prepper boxes. Its main routine call another SFC program. Note that, I explained this programming method, during the lesson number 30. I can use the designed HMI screen, or the program, to detect the process step. Naturally, operators prefer to work with HMIs, because they can translate complex process variables on the PLC memory, into usable and actionable information on the HMI screen. The next program folder related to the tank level control. I can use the slider to change the desired level. Then the program compared its value with the current level. Now, it sends 10 volts to the filling valve to open it completely. Remember, here you can determine which program folder must be executed first. Well, let me exit from the online mode. Also, I can remove each program folder from the PLC execution. For example, now the tank level is under the unscheduled programs. So it won't be executed by the PLC. Well, let me add it to the main task folder. Remember, each program folder has its specified program tags table, and all of them can use defined tags inside the controller tags table. Alright, as you see, the controller continue filling empty racks. The stacker crane and water tank were explained before. Now, let me pause the controller, and tell you some point about this arm and also the designed HMI screens. Alright, this arm has 3 actuators, and also 3 sensors. The first actuator moves the arm horizontally. Its related sensor will be 1, during horizontal moving. Similarly, this actuator moves the arm vertically, and its related sensor will be on during this type of moving. The third actuator can be used to grab boxes. Its related sensor will be on, when a box is detected under the arm. Another point is about this type of roller. It works like the belt or roller conveyors. It can be added from the right list. Note that, here are other equipment like sensors, push buttons, and systems. First try to write a simple program to control them, and after that, use them together to simulate a more complex system, to improve your PLC programming skill. Alright, let me explain my designed HMI screens, inside Easy Builder 8000 software. The first ability of each HMI, is defining several screens. I used 3 screens, and navigated between them. As you see, I can have and use more screens. Well, on each screen, you can use images like your company logo, or suitable texts. Also, we can see and change numeric values, which were explained in the previous video. Well, here is a slider to change numeric data. It can be added from here. Then, it must be connected to the numeric memory on the PLC memory, which stores the desired level. On the left side, I used a bar graph to display the water level. In its properties windows, I defined its minimum and maximum values, and also connected that to a PLC memory, which represents the current level. Alright, inside this screen, these bitlamp objects can be added to the screen from here. Each bitlamp object is connected to a bit of the PLC memory, which represents the related step is activated or not. Similarly, I've used 54-bit lamps to display the state of racks. Note that bit lamps, and also toggle switches which can be used like real push buttons, were explained in the previous video. Another point is using function keys. These provide some ability like navigating between screens. Here I can select the target screen. Note that HMI devices have more abilities to display data, define alarms, store and transfer data, define password on HMI screens, and so on. I hope you have learned basic concepts about HMIs in this, and also the previous video. Alright, in this tutorial, we have learned RSLogix5000 and 5000 softwares, which are used to program Allen Bradley controllers. If you don't have any real controllers, we've explained how a PLC program can be tested without any real controllers. Basic concepts about HMI devices were told using two softwares: Factory Talk View, and Easy Builder 8000. Also, we displayed how real equipment like push buttons and signal lamps, or virtual equipment inside Factory I/O software, can be connected to a controller. I hope you like this tutorial about Allen Bradley PLCs. Thanks for watching my content. If you have any question on this topic, make sure you leave them in the comment section below, and if you can spend a few seconds of your time liking as well as sharing this video, if you enjoyed it, that will mean a lot to me. If you have any suggestions for the channel, such as what kind of hardware or software I should be covering, then make sure to leave that in the comment section. See you next time. Bye bye.